welcome back to my channel. I'm Chris Clark, and I realized that I am wearing the exact same outfit that I was wearing the last time I filmed, but oh well, I'm gonna roll with it. So today I am doing a flip through of Catch On To Cursive. We also have the PDF of this. We bought the PDF before the physical books were ready, and so I'll share with you guys how we utilize the PDFs as well. Generally I buy physical copies, but I've started buying some PDFs and I'll just kind of share what we do with those. So before I get into that, I just wanted to quickly note that I'm kind of branching out on the blog especially, but I'll be doing it here too, to other topics besides just homeschooling. The plan is to just kind of share the things that I'm interested in. So, you know, topics about motherhood, lifestyle, and homeschooling obviously will always be a big part of that. It's a big part of our life, but just wanted to give a heads up that you'll start seeing content that is not necessarily just homeschool specific. With that, I wanted to highlight one of the recent posts that I did on my blog, which was sharing the coming home outfit that I made for our baby. So I love to knit. I wanted to share the little sweater that I made, and it's like such a soft, squishy, I love this. It's like a fisherman's rib. And then I made these little pants to go with it. But I did a review of the patterns that I used. So if you're a knitter and you have babies to knit for, then maybe that post would be interesting to you. I also don't know if you're familiar with prayer blankets or prayer shawls. There's a lot of ministries or traditions that kind of center around that. But I do that when I knit for my kids, where basically I just am intentional about spending time in prayer while I'm knitting. And then it's sort of like each stitch is a physical representation of a moment that I prayed for them. It's just something that I like to do. So anyways, I talk about that on the blog. Okay, Catch On To Cursive. This is by far my favorite handwriting curriculum. With my oldest two, for print, we used Handwriting Without Tears. I'm not using that with my current kindergartner because I feel like she's gotten enough through Simply K, and then now in Foundations Phonics especially. There's a lot of copy work, and we've just been working on handwriting through that. So I haven't felt the need to have a separate course. We did have a different cursive curriculum that we tried almost 2 years ago now, and I shelved it. It didn't work for us. So I was very excited about this, especially when I have some who are reluctant writers, but were very motivated to be able to write in cursive. So that helped. But this course is different than, I think, your typical course. One, the fishing theme is super cute, and it got my kids really interested in fishing. We actually have become a family that goes fishing, which we were not before. There's these gear up exercises. You're bringing your hand across the midline, and you're building up core strength, and you're building up hand strength, and you're doing all these things. And the kids just think it's fun. They're working on their balance. They're working on coordination and fine motor skills, gross motor skills. So it's really a very well-rounded course. It also fits a wide age range. There's 2 suggested schedules. One goes over for the younger student, and one is a more accelerated pace for an older student. Okay, let's take a look inside Catch On To Cursive. There's a gear up section that goes over all the exercises, which I find really helpful. And then here's the daily suggested schedule. The yellow is for the younger student, and the blue is for the more advanced or older student. So you can see there are a variety of exercises and then copy work pages. There are gear up sections at the beginning of each week or each lesson. There's also these great pages that just teach little tidbits about fishing, which my kids really enjoy. So as it progresses, you will start to copy entire sentences. It builds up from just copying letters to words to sentences, obviously. And there's just a ton of fun activities. Real quick, I also wanted to share how we use the PDF version of this. So we use my iPad. We actually looked at, there's like Remarkable and Supernote. There's like these e-ink tablets, and I looked into those, but for the same price point, I could get an iPad, which helps with my business and with, you know, other functionality. So anyways, so this is how we use the PDFs. So I have it's called PaperLike. It's a screen that makes it feel like paper when you're writing on it. But you can import the PDF that you purchased directly from the Master Books website into GoodNotes is what we use. So you can see it's on there. And then my kids can write on it just like a piece of paper. We don't do this a ton because one, sometimes it makes it take a lot longer because they're fiddling around with changing the color of their pen or something like that. But I do utilize this if we're going to be on the go or to have extra practice. That's one of the reasons I like having the PDFs is if we struggled with a page or if I just feel like they could use some more, we have unlimited amounts of pages to use. Whereas with the physical copy, they do it once. If it didn't go so well, we're sort of just stuck, right? Just a note, if you're going to be using an iPad with a matte screen protector like this, the nib of your pencil can get worn down. And so I bought these like super cheap little nib covers or tip covers. I don't know what they're called. Anyway, that help with that. So this is the page, and then they just write on it. And it works really great. I found it to be responsive, and I don't think I would like it with just the glossy cover, but with the PaperLike screen protector, it seems to work really well. It's like writing with a pen and paper. So you can also use this little box tool to make it larger if your student has trouble writing with the screen size the way that it is. My kids don't generally use this, but it is a helpful tool. If you don't like the box tool, you can also just use your fingers to expand or zoom in on the page. That's just a quick tidbit of something that we found helpful in our homeschool. So yeah, I'd love to hear if you're using this cursive curriculum or if you have a different cursive curriculum that you enjoy more. I'd love to hear about it. Coming up, I have a video on our record keeping, and a little bit of a spoiler, we use the GoodNotes app, and I do have a hard copy of our records, but so I'll share with you how I do that in my sort of digital record keeping process, which is super simple. And then I also am going to share with you the independent readers that we're using that we are really loving. And so stay tuned for those. Until next time, happy schooling.